I have experienced relatively high amounts of anxiety and fear, particularly public speaking. I did stand-up once, which was the scariest experience I think I've ever had in my life. But I think real stage fright is genuinely debilitating. Like it sort of renders you inert and non-functioning, and I've never experienced that. I've never vomited or passed out or anything as a result of fear.
How old were you when you started playing the piano?
I think I was 10 or 11 when I first took lessons, and I think I was 14 when I stopped. But I stopped playing when I was 14, so approaching grand piano and jumping back into the piano again was incredibly daunting, and it was sort of like starting over.
How much training did you get?
Well, it was 3 weeks in Los Angeles prior to leaving for Barcelona, and an additional 2 weeks of prep before we started shooting. And really throughout, once those first 2 weeks of prep were finished and we got into shooting, it was really kind of a daily basis. Hector, who was my double and also my teacher in Barcelona, we were working together all the time to prepare the week's work, to look at the next day's work. Sometimes the music would change on the day, and we'd have to very quickly go and kind of learn a little piece of music. So it was sort of an ongoing thing. But, the initial work in Los Angeles was probably the most daunting and scary. My teacher was extraordinary in terms of how she helped me with very intense kind of a massive learning curve of techniques that I'd never learned before. And it was really like learning again for the first time. And she taught me like a teacher would teach a student, which was frustrating because I couldn't be completely accurate within the context of filming. But I think it was her approach that really set up all of the techniques that I needed before getting to Barcelona, and then sort of applying it from more of a filmmaking standpoint.
I read somewhere that all but maybe 45 seconds of film, it's actually your hands.
I don't know. Is that true, Eugenio? Is it true that it's only? Were you just sleeping?
No.
Is it 40? Is it 45 seconds? Is that true? That's amazing.
Was it exhausting, actually playing through everything?
Yes, it was exhausting. I think the most difficult shots, I think it was the third music set piece. There are shots that start on my hands and move up to my face, or include both my hands and my face at the same time while I'm having to accurately play something that's relatively complicated, and listen to the music to be on time, and listen to John Cusack to then have to respond.